The diplomatic hall buzzed with tension as delegates from 12 different species gathered for the annual Galactic Council Summit. Ambassador Jessica Martinez smoothed her formal uniform and reviewed the agenda one final time. 3 years of careful negotiations had led to this moment: humanity's potential membership in the oldest alliance known to civilized space. Princess Lyra of the Ethereal Kingdom stood at the center of the chamber, her silver skin gleaming under the artificial lights. Her pointed ears twitched with barely contained irritation as she watched the human delegation enter. The young princess had spent months arguing against humanity's inclusion, citing their aggressive nature and short lifespans as evidence of their unsuitability for galactic governance. "Mother, I still believe this is a mistake," Lyra whispered to Queen Vera, who sat regally upon the crystalline throne that had been transported specifically for this occasion. "Humans have only just discovered faster-than-light travel. They lack the wisdom that comes with centuries of existence." Queen Vera's ancient eyes held secrets that her daughter could not yet comprehend. "Patience, dear one. Sometimes the universe reveals truths in the most unexpected ways." The ceremony began with traditional greetings from each species. When humanity's turn arrived, Captain Marcus Steele stepped forward. His weathered face bore the scars of countless battles fought to protect human colonies from raiders and hostile forces. Despite his intimidating appearance, he carried himself with the dignity befitting Earth's finest military leader. Lyra's breath caught in her throat as she studied the human warrior. Something about his green eyes seemed familiar, though she could not place where she might have encountered them before. The princess had never traveled to human space, and few humans had ever been granted audience with the Ethereal Kingdom. "Your Majesty," Marcus said, bowing respectfully to Queen Vera, "Earth extends its gratitude for this opportunity to prove our worthiness as allies." The Queen's expression remained carefully neutral, but her fingers gripped the armrests of her throne with unexpected force. 25 years had passed since she last saw those eyes, yet she would recognize them anywhere in the galaxy. Lyra stepped forward, her chin raised in challenge. "Captain Steele, I question whether humanity possesses the restraint necessary for membership in our alliance. Your species has a documented history of solving conflicts through violence rather than diplomacy." Marcus met her gaze steadily. "Princess, I won't deny that humans have made mistakes, but we've also shown the capacity to learn and grow. Every species in this chamber has a history of conflict. What matters is our willingness to choose a better path." "Empty words," Lyra retorted. "How can we trust beings who live such brief lives? You cannot understand the long-term consequences of galactic decisions when your entire existence spans less than a century." The captain's jaw tightened, but his voice remained calm. "Perhaps our shorter lives give us a different perspective. We know that every moment matters, every choice carries weight. We don't have the luxury of endless time to deliberate while others suffer." Their debate continued for hours, with Lyra challenging every aspect of human civilization, while Marcus defended his species with patience and wisdom. The other delegates watched in fascination as the young princess and experienced warrior engaged in intellectual combat. Queen Vera observed the exchange with growing amazement. Her daughter possessed the same fierce intelligence that had once captivated her during a secret diplomatic mission to a neutral station 26 years ago. And Marcus displayed the same protective instincts that had saved her life when pirates attacked their transport. During a brief recess, the Queen approached Marcus privately. "Walk with me, Captain." They stepped onto a balcony overlooking the space station's central hub. Stars wheeled slowly beyond the transparent aluminum windows, casting ethereal light across the Queen's features. "You argued well against my daughter," Vera said quietly. "She's passionate about protecting our people." Marcus nodded. "She reminds me of someone I once knew, brilliant, stubborn, convinced she could save the galaxy through sheer force of will." The Queen's smile held both sadness and joy. "Captain Marcus Steele of the Earth vessel Endeavor. You saved my life during the pirate wars, though you never knew my true identity." Recognition dawned slowly across the captain's face. "Vera, but you said you were just a trade representative." "I was on a secret mission to establish communication with the neutral zone colonies. When those raiders attacked our convoy, I thought we would all die. You fought them off single-handedly, then refused any reward. Marcus stepped closer, his voice barely a whisper. You disappeared the next morning. I searched for you. I had to return to my duties as queen, but I never forgot those 3 days. We spent together while your ship underwent repairs. Vera's hand moved to rest over her heart. I never told you about the gift you left me. The captain's eyes widened as understanding struck him. Lyra, she has your courage and determination, though she inherited my stubbornness as well. For 25 years, I've watched her grow into a remarkable leader, never knowing if I would see you again. Back in the council chamber, Lyra paced impatiently while waiting for the proceedings to resume. Something about the human captain continued to nag at her consciousness. His arguments had been frustratingly logical, and she found herself reconsidering some of her preconceptions about his species. When Queen Vera and Captain Steele returned, the Queen called for immediate assembly. The other delegates took their seats, sensing that something significant was about to occur. My fellow council members, the Queen began, her voice carrying across the chamber. Today's debates have reminded me that wisdom comes not from the length of our lives, but from the depth of our experiences and the courage to act upon our convictions. She turned to face her daughter directly. Lyra, there is something you must know about Captain Steele. The princess frowned, confusion evident in her silver features. What does this have to do with humanity's membership application? Queen Laos. Vera took a deep breath, knowing that her next words would change everything. 26 years ago, during a diplomatic mission, I fell in love with a human warrior who risked everything to protect innocent lives. That warrior stands before us today. The council chamber fell silent as delegates processed this revelation. Lyra stared at her mother in shock, then slowly turned to look at Marcus with new understanding. You're saying that he's my father? Yes, dear one. And his courage flows through your veins as surely as my heritage does. Marcus approached his daughter carefully, seeing his own eyes reflected in her face. Lyra, I never knew. If I had, I would have moved heaven and earth to be part of your life. The princess studied him for a long moment, then straightened with newfound resolve. Then perhaps it's time I learned to see humans through different eyes. She addressed the council formally. I withdraw my objections to humanity's membership. Any species that can produce warriors with such honor deserves our consideration. The vote was unanimous.